Welcome back to Cossy Arsenal Podcast. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. This is your latest Arsenal news and transfer news. We're going to be talking about İlkay Gundogan to Arsenal back on. Barcelona have failed to register the player. They do have a lot of financial problems, and İlkay Gundogan could actually be available for Mikel Arteta once again this summer. We're also going to be talking about Mohamed Kudus because the deal is in absolute jeopardy as Arsenal are trying to avoid FFP breaches. We'll talk about Kieran Tierney. Talks are ongoing with Arsenal and Real Sociedad to take him to Spain, and Alexander Zinchenko is back in full training. The competition is now getting up the level. Zinchenko is back, Timber is fit, Tomiyasu is back. How I love it. Hit the like button for me, subscribe to the podcast as well. I have a question for you in this one. Alexander Zinchenko is a much better offensive player than Julian Timber, but Julian Timber is a much better defensive player than Alexander Zinchenko, like we have seen. So who should start Arsenal on that left-hand side? Easy. Very, very easy question. I'm not even going to give my opinion on this one because I'm really puzzled. Of course, let me know in the comment box below. Should Zinchenko start in a couple of games, especially where Arsenal don't need to look over the shoulder defensively, or should Julian Timber start in every game just to just to make sure that Arsenal have that extra defensive shield, that extra defensive assurance? Let me know. Let's get this video to 500 likes and let's talk about İlkay Gundogan. Now, of course, this summer, you will have noticed that Arsenal really wanted to sign a replacement for Granit Xhaka. We had a couple of priorities in that position. Kai Havertz was one of them, but İlkay Gundogan was on top of the list. Now, I understand from The Athletic, from Fabrizio Romano, that İlkay Gundogan was Mikel Arteta's primary target to replace Granit Xhaka, and we were actually waiting for the situation to be resolved before Granit Xhaka was going to be given a green light to leave. However, the player decided to go to Barca because of that respect he has for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City and the memories. He decided that Barca was the better destination, and of course, as a young player, he always wanted to play for Barcelona. Now, you will have understood, of course, as well from my reporting on a couple of occasions that Barcelona do have a couple of financial problems coming in from, I think, 2010 around there until now. They do have big problems financially. Barcelona have failed to register İlkay Gundogan up to now, and the player has a clause in his contract that if they don't register him in time, he can opt out. He can decide to go out of the deal that he agreed with FC Barcelona. Now, he's played a couple of games with them, especially this preseason. I think it looks very good in their midfield, but look, if you don't have the money, you literally cannot sign him. So this is what is actually coming out of Catalonia and Spain. They're saying that İlkay Gundogan could now leave Barcelona and be a free agent once again. It's reported that Gundogan will leave and will become a free agent if they don't actually register him for the Getafe game. And the more information coming out is that reports suggesting that İlkay Gundogan will leave Barcelona if he's not registered in time for their clash against Getafe. Arsenal were interested in him earlier on in the window. A new midfielder isn't as important now, but worth the gamble still for Mikel Arteta. Now, the one thing I'm going to say with on this deal is we need a Martin Odegaard competitor. We need someone who can compete with Martin Odegaard. I know we have so many players. Emile Smith has been given the chance there. Fabio Vieira has been given the chance there. But we've got to be honest. In our squad right now, there's no one that gives us the Martin Odegaard vibe. There's no one that gives us that output, that energy, the energy levels that Martin Odegaard actually provides. So I won't be very unhappy if we get in İlkay Gundogan. But this is also one of the other reasons why this is a very good deal and why Arsenal should actually try to pounce if he decides to leave Barcelona. Number one, apart from the cover for Odegaard, you need that experience. You need a player who's won everything at club level. Champions League, Premier League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Community Shield. Have they won the Community Shield? I'm not really sure. Man City literally lose the Community Shield like nothing. But anyway, the point here, guys, is that we need that experience and we need a clutch player. If there is a clutch player in this Arsenal side, it would be Leandro Trossard. Trossard is a very, very clutch player. He's a game changer, but he also performs when it matters. But we know İlkay Gundogan is such a clutch player. Arsenal will not have to worry over financial fair play rules and obligations, when we actually sign Ilkay Gundogan, it's gonna be a free deal. If we are not going to get kudos because of the financial fair play rules that I'm going to explain later on, how about go for Ilkay Gundogan? Good player, experienced, free agent. It really makes a lot of sense. And I really pity Barca because they have lost Ousmane Dembele, and with that, you thought they would be having enough room to on their wage scale to actually sign a player like Ilkay Gundogan and register him. But it looks like it is actually refusing. Anyway, Arsenal now have a huge boost in that Ilkay Gundogan deal. Mikel loves him. No one doesn't love Ilkay Gundogan. He's one of those old players that would straight away walk into every side in the world. And I'm not kidding. Of course, let's talk about Alexander Zinchenko, who is actually back in full training. Today, the pictures have been displayed everywhere. Alexander Zinchenko is back in full training, and we expect him to be available for the first Arsenal games this season. Now, the problem with Ole is that he really picks up those injuries that I don't understand. Zinchenko is one of the players that are so important to this Arsenal side. And you can even argue that he's one of the reasons why our performances did drop down a little bit, because during the back end of the season, he did pick up some injuries, which actually affected his game and affected his form and the way we played as a system. If you still love that fluid football, if you still love that fluid system that we had last campaign, Alexander Zinchenko is one of the key parts, one of the key cogs in the machine. So I'm gonna say Zinchenko coming back is a huge boost to Arsenal's season, a huge boost to the start of the campaign. But the big question, who starts in that position now? Tomiyasu's played there. Corinthian is still here. Julian Timber has made that position his own in preseason, and Alexander Zinchenko has proven that he's one of the best players at left back inverting into midfield. Who should start for Arsenal? Big question, really big question. But for me, I'm going to say it's a huge boost for Arsenal. It's a very, very important comeback for us as we start the season. We have two very good players in that position now, and a maximum of 4 capable players in that position. Plus Jakub Kiwior, that is 5 capable players at left back. So I won't be disappointed if Zinchenko comes back into the side and Julian Timber inverts into that right back position, or altogether, if a player like Gabriel Magalhaes actually drops out of the starting 11 to accommodate Julian Timber. Right, so let me know in the comment box below, where do we go from here? Zinchenko is back, Timber is fully fit, Corinthian is fully fit, Jakub Kiwior is fully fit, and all these guys, apart from Zinchenko, have had a very good preseason, and they have proven they can be trusted. They have proven they're players that can actually be relied on. Apart from Corinthian, who actually is not favored by the system, and if we played him as part of the back three, probably the system could favor him a little bit better. So let me know in the comment box below. Bazzini is back in full training. Now, talking about the left back positions, it looks like Corinthian is going to be heading to Real Sociedad. Until now, negotiations are still ongoing. Arsenal are locked in talks with Real Sociedad to make sure that the player actually joins them. The difference in this deal and why it has actually not happened yet, Tierney wants to go to Sociedad if they can give him the game time. He also wants to say at Arsenal if we can guarantee him the game time. So he's not pushing to get out of the team. He's not actually rebelling. And it's one of the things I like about Corinthian. Very disciplined. Like, he spent the last season being overlooked. We picked Tomiyasu, we picked other players that were actually not even better than him at left back, and until now, he's not made these ridiculous statements Florian Balogun is making on social media, and players like, Bellerin were actually making when they went out on loan. But Real Sociedad coming to have having the audacity to come and ask for a player like Corinthian on loan without an obligation to buy, it is crazy. And I support Arsenal in this matter. We should not allow him go without an obligation to buy. Take him on loan. with an obligation to buy. Lastly, Kudus is having the deal is having a problem because Arsenal are now wary of FFP. You will have noticed through my reporting that Arsenal have actually decided to go with a loan deal for David Raya initially, and then we will sign him in the future on a permanent. Arsenal trying to make sure that despite the fact that we are strengthening, we do not get beyond our spending limits. All right, so after spending 200 million, it looks like Mohamed Kudus, that 40 million is going to be difficult unless Arsenal can make substantial sales this summer. Can we? I think we can. My problem is that we are undervaluing our players. What we should be doing, overvalue your players so that you can actually reach a consensus with the buyer. This kind of lowballing as if we are, I don't understand our negotiations in terms of sales, but I trust Edu and I trust Mikel Arteta. I see you right in the next one. Let me know in the comment box below. Timber or Zinchenko to start? Let me have your thoughts right below. I'll see you right in the next one.